You know what day it is? It's Grateful Tuesday. I was struggling with what am I going to talk about this morning? And I'm struggling a little bit because, not because I don't know what the topic is, but because I recently, a friend of mine we met in college died. And it's always easier to give the religious godly talk about faith and God knows best and all these things it's not you when it's not you. But when it hits home, do you really want to hear that? Do you really want to hear all those things? Can we still preach, yes, God is good, in those moments? And it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't take away who he is, nor what he can do and will do and able to do. But I was torn between, do I talk about that, how I'm feeling? Do I just stick with the Grateful Tuesday? And then as I was getting ready, I was thinking about order. So I have Cindy Trim's 40-day fast book, and I opened it to a page and I spoke about order. And I didn't get a chance to read the chapter, but I want to share a little bit on order today, or organization. Those of you who know me know that I'm a professional organizer. I started a business called Give It a Home Organizing Services in 2009. And then a few years ago, I merged all my services together and started a business called Coach T Organizing Services that specializes in space organization, time management, and getting your spiritual life in order. And as I opened the book on the word order, I thought to myself, what is out of order currently in my life? And they say your clutter is a reflection of who you are, what you're going through. And I thought about my space and what am I struggling with that is out of order? And I realized that I have the same problem all the time. I have paperwork that I need to sort. And I have to sort. I've been sorting paperwork for the last couple of years. And don't get me wrong, it's not that it doesn't get sorted. It's that new ones come in and then I change the system or I change the color of the folders. And it's just an ongoing project because I just can't seem to find the system that I love. That I love. I like many of them, but I don't love them. And so I thought to myself, I have a paper problem. I like information. I like to read everything before I throw it away. If I buy something, if I'm going to build it, I'm going to read it. I don't pretend. I don't build things and then seek the instructions. I seek the instructions first and then I build things. When those terms and conditions come out, do I read it thoroughly? No, but I do skim through it. I do skim through it. I don't want to be one of those callers. Well, I never saw that. Where does it say that? Well, if you read the paperwork that was sent to you, you know where it says that. And so I don't get into arguments on the phone over services because I was irresponsible in reading what I needed to read. So I was thinking about what am I disorganizing in this paperwork, and I thought, how does this reflect my life? I like information, and that's reflective in the amount of books that I have, the information that I gather, things that I can't let go of because I just want to read it first. Until I read it, I don't want to get rid of it. So I have a lot of things piled up to read. Do I go through them? Yes, I go through them, but slowly but surely. But I have to figure out, how do I just let go of this information? Is information that I can find again? I'm sure, but if I didn't read it, I don't know what I'm looking for, right? And so that's the other thing. Yes, I can get rid of it, but I don't even know what's even there to look for in the future. But I'm sure whatever it is that will come up, I can find it. There is somebody on YouTube or Google that has the information, I am sure. Yet I have this paper, this information we'll call it problem. But I also like to, I'm really a researcher at heart. I like to research things. I like to gather all the information before making a decision and even before informing people about things. So I've been trying to figure out, is this really a problem, or is it to figure out how to commit more time to getting through those things? And so anyways, it's not about me really. I was just sharing how I was trying to identify what do I have that is out of order or that is not organized, that needs to be in order, and see how I can relate it to my personality, to myself, and to my life. And does it reflect, what else does it reflect? Is there really a connection between my clutter in my space or my paperwork and how I function, how I think, how I behave? And there definitely is. I can walk into somebody's space and I can tell your habits. I can tell pretty much what you're up to. I can tell what you're not up to. I can tell certain things by how your environment is. Now, don't get me wrong, you have environments that look very, very neat. And those people don't get away either, because an environment that is very, very neat means that you may be very rigid, very, we'll call it not very gracious, very hard for you to forgive. Because people who are very rigid, very organized, like things a certain way, which means they also have high expectations of themselves and also of others, and not very easy to allow people to be. And I know this because that is how I was, partially am, and trying to get out of. Very neat. I am very neat. I like things a certain way. I like structure. I like order. I don't like things out of place. And I have had this attitude not only with others, but also with myself. And my space is a reflection of that. Now, again, it's not about me in that regard, but I just want to talk it out, the areas that I'm identifying that are not in good order, and also maybe you can relate to the clutter in your own spaces and see how it connects to other areas in your life, and see if it is reflective there, or if there is a connection between your clutter in your home and your current lifestyle and your attitude, because I believe there definitely is. I really do believe that. So let's get back to the foundation of what this live is really about. It is Grateful Tuesday. And so, I like to ask, what are you grateful for? So let's just take a minute and think, what are we grateful for today? As I mentioned, my college friend passed away, and it's really hurting me. It's really, really hurting me. One thing everybody always says about her, very, very kind. Very, very kind. Did she know the Lord? She knows about God. Did she have any interest in him? No. But one thing I know, God talks to people when they're dying. God talks to people on their deathbed. God talks to people when they're alone, when they're in their bed at night. So I don't know what conversation she may have had with the good Lord, the time that she was on her way out. I don't know. But what I want to say is that although everyone kept saying she's so kind, she's so kind, she's so kind, she's so kind, I'm just thinking, do I want people to say that I'm kind? I want people to say that she knew the Lord. I want people to know that I was kind. I want people to know that, you know what, I did God's work. What do I want people to remember me as? Because being kind is great. A lot of people are kind. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are not even, don't even have good attitudes that are kind. Is that really what all we need? Or is what life is about, being kind? It is part of it. I do definitely believe so. I believe that God is so good, and we should reflect his goodness in all areas, in giving, in our speech, in how we help others, in opening up doors as in favor, and also physical doors, being kind to others. And so this Grateful Tuesday, I am grateful to have known my friend. I am grateful to have experienced her kindness. And it's funny because I had a few people message me and say, I remember how kind you and her were in school. One lady said, I remember you guys were so kind to me. I don't remember being kind to her. I don't remember anything about her, to be honest, but that's what she remembers of me. Does she know anything about me? No. She doesn't really, but she knows, remembers that I was kind, that my friend was kind. And I'm grateful that I had a relationship with my friend and that she was kind. That's one of the great things about her. She was also many other things. Very skilled, great hairstylist, great makeup artist, just a great friend, a good, we call it ride or die. Yeah, that's her. That's her when you can get her. Okay, when you can get a hold of her. But I am grateful this Tuesday to have known her, and her ways will definitely live on in me, and I've learned so much from her personality and just from her talks. And so those things will live on with me until the good Lord takes me. So I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful for the skill of organization that God has blessed me with. And I just want to share something about being organized. Sometimes when you have a skill, you're not very accepting or have lack of tolerance for others who don't have that skill of yours. But imagine someone who's financially wise, not being patient with me, and not being, kind to me because I wasn't financially as wise as them or as wealthy, or someone who was fit and took care of their health, and they were like, huh, look at her, and they weren't very gracious. So we have to be careful about our gifts and make sure that it doesn't become a stumbling block for others, that we don't think that, oh, because we have this gift we can disregard others and we can disrespect them. And so I want to acknowledge that God has blessed me with a gift, but I also want to acknowledge that I haven't always been very gracious, and it has also provoked me when others don't exercise the gift. But then again, God didn't give them the gift. He gave it to me. He gave it to me, and instead of me looking at it like that, I'm getting upset. It's like a barber being mad that people can't shave their own heads. Like, come on, right? And so that barber's probably very annoyed. Oh, look at that person's head, but very grateful for the business. So I'm grateful for my skill, and I'm grateful that God has opened up my eyes to learn to be more accepting and just more tolerant of others who may not have it, and just teaching me how I could help them out, how I can be of assistance to them. And order. I was talking about order earlier. Yeah, I just want to look at the areas that you don't have order in. And order could be, maybe you don't have order with your closet, order in your kitchen, order in your bedroom. Maybe some of you don't have order with your mouth. Your mouth is very out of order, very foul, very, very foul. Your attitude is out of order. And so let's try to look at those areas of our lives, whether it's our finances, our health, even when we die, who's going to pay for our funeral? Do you have a will? Do you have insurance? Is the GoFundMe gonna take care of you? Are you expecting your parents to bury you? You want your kids to bury? Who's gonna bury you? Get your life in order. Get your finances in order. Get your space in order. Get your things together for when you do pass in order. Don't be a burden to other people. Don't be a burden to other people. Get your mouth in order if it's out of order. Get your attitude in order if it is out of order. Start to identify those areas and get them in order. And that's all I'm going to say for today. I want to thank you so much for joining me, my morning ride and my morning live. God bless you, and happy Grateful Tuesday.